Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with the occasional review. Planning has always been my way of working out problems and solving the day-to-day issues in my life. Join me as I experiment on how to best tackle projects, figure out how to stick with habit tracking, and celebrate the wins, both big and small. So grab a cup or a glass of whatevs and let's get on with the video. Hey planner friends, so today I'm going to be talking about 10-day planning for July of 2024. So let's talk about the things I won't be talking about in this video, and that is my TN, which is going to be my reading journal, and my A5 Hobonichi, which houses my wordage. It's basically quotes as well as vocabulary. That is stuff I like to keep separately because I thought at the end of the year that's the stuff I would want to archive the most. Notes don't really work for me in the Hobonichi A5 size, so I've decided that that's what I'm going to be doing in there. But the stuff I will be talking about and using in this video will be my Nolte. You can't really see it right here, but my Nolte 6501 in A5 slim size. So this is pretty much what I would call comparable to the Jibun Techo A5 Slim if you've had that in the past or you currently have that now. And I'm mostly going to be focusing on the monthly in here. It does come with a weekly that looks like this, so it's a vertical timed weekly. And I have done time tracking in here. I find that it's not something I always want or need to do for everyday planning, but it is a thing that I can do if I need to. Also, I'm going to be finally getting to the bullet journal pocket with the A6 orientation here. So this little guy is supposed to be able to open up and be the size of an A5 Leuchtturm 1917 page. And so you can see I did a whole video, but just in case you didn't catch that, the whole page is just numbered 16 for both of these. Oops, because you're supposed to use it like this. I tried to give it a go. I don't know if I'm going to continue that, but we're going to talk about that as well. I'm zooming in. Hopefully the lighting will be okay. There's clouds already rolling in for the day, so the lighting might change, but bear with me. It's about the information more than it is about the aesthetic. Okay, so let's talk about how I usually plan my month before I show you how I'm going to be changing how I plan my month. So I plan, like I feel the majority of people out there do, by weeks. And so having these planners are really great because they have a lot of detail. As you can see off to the side here, it will tell you what week of the year we are on. So it is week 27 for the first week of July. Currently we're on day 15, so the mid-month check-in. Again, 2024 in case you're watching this in the future. So it makes it pretty easy to break down the month in 2 weeks. However, there are struggles with this type of planning. First of all, like July is a beautiful month because the first of the month starts on a Monday, and that's a beautiful thing for me because I tend to plan Monday through Sunday. It's a lot of years of going to school. I imagine work weeks for some people, they plan Sunday through Monday. So this is just kind of what I'm used to doing, and so it becomes difficult when you have a month like, let's say, September, where the first starts on a Sunday, and that might be really great for all of you out there that plan Sunday from Monday, but for me it means that this week is going to be divided between these days being in August and the last day being in September. So it's not a perfect system, but it's what the majority of us work with. When you plan Monday through Sunday, a lot of times you will have these deadlines. So for me, the 7th, like for this month, especially since July starts on a Monday, the 7th is the end of week 1. So day 7 is now a deadline for me. The 14th is now a deadline. The 21st, the 28th, and then these extra 3 days are just like where I usually take whatever I haven't gotten done within the month, and I either have to recalculate things or I have to make a decision of whether I can get everything packed into these 3 days before we roll over into the next couple of months. So in the past, I found a YouTuber called Amidst The Grey, and I will try to remember to link her channel down below. She has 2 really good videos where she's breaking down this system, and I had found the video a really long time ago, and I tried to make an Alastair Method loosely based on what she was trying to do. It's not anything like that, but you might have remembered me doing this in a past video. So she had 10 days here in her Alastair Method, and I couldn't wrap my brain around it at the time, and I was like, I don't want to try that, but I think it would be nice to go ahead and do 2 weeks, because 2 weeks means that things I can't get done in 7 days, I still have some extra time. I don't have to make this more than once every 2 weeks, and that sounds nice. And so I thought I would give that a go. You can see here that this was week 46 and 47. So now we're in July of 2024, and I mentioned that this has been a hard year for me to get back into planning, but I am trying to give it a go here in July because it is the midpoint of the year and it's a nice restart for a lot of us. So I decided that I was going to try a method I found by Amidst The Grey. So the way she plans, let me move this over here, is instead of planning for each week, she breaks her month down into thirds. So she just divides it by 10, which is so brilliant, and I don't know why I've never thought about this before. Again, I think it's all the training from school. It's like Monday through Sunday, and mostly Monday through Friday, and then you have your weekend to do whatever you need to do. But I really like the idea of having 10-day units. I don't know if that's the word she uses, but because when I did 14 days, it seemed like it was too much time, and 7 days didn't seem like it was enough to get everything I wanted to get done in a unit or a time period. And so 10 might be that Goldilocks number that I was actually looking for, and that's part of the reason also why I decided to give this a go. Okay, so the way she breaks up her month is again by 10 days. So it's the 1st through the 10th, the 11th through the 20th, the 21st to whatever the end of the month is going to be, depending on if we're in a leap year and what month it is. And on those months that have 31 days, it's just like you have this extra day to get anything else done that you didn't, which I kind of like. And I wish all months had 31 days to give me that extra day, because honestly, we could always use an extra day. Now, what I found to be a struggle the first time I saw this video, and the reason why I didn't give it a go, is that instead of having like Monday through Sunday be my start stops or my starts and my deadlines, you have to memorize different days. So all of a sudden the 1st, which is pretty natural for all of us, is going to be a start day, but my stop day is now the 10th. And then I have another stop day being the 20th, and then depending on what, again, year it is and what month, it can be anywhere from the 28th to the 31st. And it's not like that's hard to memorize, it's just the way we wire our brain. I just couldn't wrap my head around it, and I was like, this is gonna mess me up, and I don't know if I can do it. Also, in my standard planning for the month, I always look at the 15th and 16th as like my midpoint. Again, depending on, what month we're in, but the 15th, 16th is really the midpoint for me, where I check in and I say, okay, Sylvia, this is what you've gotten done so far, this is how much time you have left, how much can you realistically how much I can get done, but I try to be a little bit more realistic about what it is I can accomplish. So when it comes to people like myself who's not used to these new dates, she kind of has a fix for that too, which I don't know that she was trying to make. I don't think she was trying to make it a fix, but it really does work. What she ends up doing is, so that she can focus on the 10 days, or what I'm calling like her 10-day unit, she goes ahead and she moves everything that's on her monthly onto a sticky note, so she can see it at first glance without even having to open her planner, just in case she doesn't open it that day, and she doesn't have to focus on any of the other two units, whether it's past or they're yet to come. And I really like that idea. So we'll go to the front of my planner. Okay, so here we are at the front of my planner, and mine looks a little bit different than hers because I always take what I like and leave what I don't, and I highly recommend that you also do the same. So she has like her tasks on the left. I put mine on the right because, I don't know, it works better for my brain that way. She basically labels this mid-month because that's where we are currently, from the 11th to the 20th. As I mentioned, today is the 15th. and she puts the whole date up here at the top in an Alastair Method. Now, the reason why I like a good Alastair Method is that it doesn't really discriminate between a to-do that needs to be done multiple times or a to-do that only needs to be once. It also allows you to schedule things on it as well, so it's all purposeful and I really appreciate it. And you don't have to put it in any order. Like here you can see that I kind of tried to put categories because that's sometimes how my brain works, but sometimes you just want to write everything out and it really doesn't matter because it just depends on what day you're getting it done. So here, I think next time I make this out, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and then I'm also going to go ahead and put some highlighter like I did here so that I can see the columns better, because I have to like really follow it with both of my fingers. So I do recommend that. I like the color, it's really helpful as a guide. Okay, so next time the other thing is I might go ahead and trim this down a little bit shorter. By the way, she uses sticky notes. I didn't have any in that size that weren't lined, so I just took a dot grid, what are these? This is a standard sized traveler's notebook insert page that I cut out of the back. So every time I finish an insert, if I have pages in the back, I cut them out and I repurpose them. And I just use washi tape. But I think I'll cut it more narrow, just a little bit next time, so that I can fit it into my dailies, which is part of her system as well. This one is it's gonna stick out probably a little bit, yeah. Just a little. Then I can just carry this in my purse or in my pocket and there's no worries there. And then I won't have to worry about taking this with me, because everything that I need to focus on for the next 10 days that's on my monthly is right here. And for those of you who are interested in, hey Sylvia, what about your weeklies? Planners are broken into the year, then the months, and then the weeks, and then of course the days. So this is kind of confusing when you're trying to look at 10 days. So for instance, the first of the 10 days would be these two, and then the rest would be over here. And then here as well. So it's on 1, 2, 3 spreads for what she calls, and I should mention that she calls this first part the early month, and then mid-month, and then the last 10 days is going to be the late month. Yeah, so this is just a thought that I had that I might try in the late month, which is the end of July. But for right now, it's fine here. Breaking this down, like I mentioned, everything that's on her monthly is right here, and you can see the times that I have written out for these scheduled projects. So like right here, this is a scheduled meeting that I have with a critique partner. And so I have a circle for the fact that it's an appointment at 5. Now I do have a line through it because we ended up having to reschedule this, and some of these things she might not have on hers. In fact, I know she doesn't, but that's, again, it was for me and how my brain works. This is not the right pen, sorry. Right now I'm using the Uni Ball 1. However, I didn't have a refill because I only wanted to try this pen out once, and I was too ridiculous to order any refills. So right now I have a 0.5 refill in here, and that fits just fine. So back to this, like I mentioned, this is a critique partner. I'm reading her pages. We have a conference call at 5 p.m. on Monday the 15th. And I do have some check marks here. So I have like open dots, and an open dot basically means that I need to read her pages every single day up until this point, so that I make sure that I have them all read by the time we have that meeting. And that's what I kind of really love about the Alastair Method. I can schedule the meeting, and I can also use it as a way to schedule tasks for any of the 10 days that are in this mid-month period. Down here at the bottom, I was just adding my reading, which again, I have on this sticky note, and I am tracking in my TN, but I just didn't want to forget. Sometimes I put this in multiple places because I never know what's going to work best, and I didn't want to forget these, especially since this is a series. They're like little novellas, I believe. I haven't done any research on it yet because I didn't want to know anything going into it. It's a really great series. And this is for my sci-fi book club. So again, I have to chip away at it every single day. And then I added a square because that just means that's the day I got something done. So I didn't actually have to wait. Like again, here, this is my other critique group that I just met, and they're lovely. So we have a conference call on the 15th, and then I ended up finishing reading their pages on the 13th. So that's just for my own information. So you can customize this however you would like, and I think that's pretty awesome. And I do have a row here, and I can't remember if she wrote that off to the side or not, but I just added a row here for signifiers. So for me, these little asterisks means that I need to, you know, work on that lickety split. And then I was just scheduling things for later, because that happens. Like I mentioned, we couldn't meet on this day, and I wrote down that we're going to meet on the 29th. And before that, I had written it back down here to make sure that I rescheduled it and put it on the calendar. And also, if you need to migrate something, obviously as I get down to Friday and Saturday, I might have to migrate something for the last of the month. And again, I recommend you check out her videos because she explains it so well, and this is only my first time. So down below, I decided to add on just like a little list of running kind of to-dos or things that I wanted to add on to my dailies. Again, this is just the stuff that is scheduled for a specific time or day. Now we can move on to the dailies. So this is the bullet journal pocket. I might have to zoom out a little bit, sorry. In an A6 orientation, but if you used it like you would a regular notebook, there's actually 92 pages in here, which is really nice. So this should last me for a nice chunk of time. So in the back, I just have the stickers that came with each notebook and the little date stickers that I ended up getting from Amazon. Okay, so in here, I haven't added to my intentions page yet, but I was just trying out some different ways to divide the page. So the first thing you need to know is, let me grab my A5 notebook. Here it is. Hopefully this will be somewhat in the shot. So I cut out a couple, like, I didn't cut out, that's a lie. There are perforated pages in the back of this little notebook, just like in the original or standard A5 size. It's like the last 8 pages. So you can see here that it's exactly the size of an A5 notebook. Now you'll see that there's a little bit missing, but that's just because it leaves behind, a little bit of a lip here of the page. But it's exactly an A5 size. The only difference is they did go ahead and change the amount of dots across and down. So as I was trying to divide this page up with the cool little dot markings they have here, that's really easy to do. These are the different things that I was trying to create. So across, they now have 24 dots instead of 26. And then down, they now have a 36 instead of 37. And that is just so you can divide up the page by thirds evenly. And of course, they do have a spot to show you where you can divide it easily in half as well. Just right there. I also was playing around with how to create a header evenly at the bottom, like right here, which I didn't use this time because I was trying to just be a little bit loosey-goosey, but I think you guys have been following me long enough, most of you, to know that even though I try to say that this is lazy planning, and it totally is, I like a little structure. I like for things to look a little bit clean and a little bit neat if I can, or else it will bug me too much. I was playing with how to divide this page for the dailies. I decided like you could do 2 up here at the top and then 2 here at the bottom, and if you decide to call this an A6 orientation or 1 page, it's technically 4 days to a page, and I have done that in the past in the A5 size. So this is me wondering, how can I do a weekly? Here is how 4 days to a page looks this way, and then 2 days to a page with just like some notes at the bottom if that's something I wanted to do. And I did try to see how I could do like a box weekly here, and I did leave a whole page or an A6 orientation. We should drink every time I say that because it's going to be a lot. Just for the monthly, because they do give you these monthly stickers in the back, where I could do kind of just a running to-do list in case I wanted to do that. I wasn't sure. And this is sort of what I ended up doing. Now, it's a little bit more structured than hers is in her video, and I did change around this column here. I think hers is on the left hand side, mine's on the right, and the reason why I did that is hers, she kind of does, she counts over 4 squares, makes her line, and then she starts her like Monday, Tuesday, what have you. And this first, we're gonna talk about these as in columns like this. So the first column here is for her dot, which she says is her activating whatever this task is. So we'll just say bathroom, like maybe we need to clean the restroom. And then she has a column here for the actual date. So let's say that this is today, so it's the 15th. And then the next column is going to be for the date in which she finishes this. So you can put the 15th here, but let's say something happened and you couldn't finish, you cleaned like the sink, but you couldn't clean the toilet because you were out of cleaner. And so you finished this on the 16th. And I can't remember if she has this column before or after, but this is my column for signifiers. So again, I can put an asterisk that means urgent. This needs to be done as soon as possible. The struggle I had with this is it's fine when you're like planning it out, but when you come back to read it, it's backwards. So you read the 16th first in my mind and then the 15th. So I just switched the way that I did it. Counted over 4, I put the dot here on the 15th. Is when it was activated, 16th is when it was done, and then the asterisk, and then you can mark an X to say that that was complete. Okay, so back to this. So she says that the key to her planning her dailies is having a margin, and this is what she puts in her margin and how she uses it. And then over here is just the tasks that she has for that day. Now, again, because this is supposed to be the same size as if you were in an A5 Leuchtturm, you can see that there in case you didn't watch my video. There's extra space, and I always had this struggle when I used to try to do the Writer Carol style of bullet journaling. I'd have, I would start here and I'd mark out my to-dos on a full page, and I'd have all this extra white space. So my white space is over here. I didn't know what to do with it. I just decided to put like the one major important event that I need to pay attention to out of this block of to-dos. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I imagine if you wanted to put like a little like journal entry for the day, it could go here, but I already have a place to do that where I keep it in my 5-year planning memory book thing. I don't know. It's by Leuchtturm as well. I'm sure you've seen it on the channel. There's even a point at the end down here where I decided to go ahead and put all of the upcoming events and things that were coming for Monday, so I wouldn't forget that I have a very busy Monday. But yeah, this part is not necessary, and for me as a planner, it might be something that you can utilize. I don't have really any ideas for it. Let me know if you do down below. So I have just marked up here that this is the mid-month unit, and then we're in July, and of course at the top I have put what day of the week. There is a little space here to mark what day of the week it is, but it's so teeny tiny, and I underlined it as you can see there, but it's just kind of ridiculous. So I just went ahead and I wrote that out. Okay, my camera cut out, so hopefully there's not too much of a gap between what I said and where we're starting or overlap. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I really don't know what to do with this space over here, which is why I'm thinking going forward, and she does hers in a fill notes notebook, that I might just use the regular style here, and I could divide and still have 4 days, because as you can see, like this day only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tasks. This one had the most out of all of them, and this one is today, and I just, just because we're going to finish out this page, I still have some space left here, because I would hate to have the 14th continue here. It's something that can happen, but that would kind of annoy me. So, and I don't want to start the 15th down here either. So I made it all one block, and that just works better for my brain. But I really like this system. I like the idea of planning in 10-day increments. Again, I mentioned, I hope it's that Goldilocks thing that I've been looking for as far as time is concerned. 7 days doesn't seem like it's long enough for me to get everything I need to get done and feel like I'm not like failing at things. I know I'm not, but I feel like I'm rolling over a lot of things, and that's okay too. Like, some people don't have a problem with that, but I don't know, 10 days might fix that a little bit for me, at least for the month of July. Who knows, August it might be a different thing. So between using this and this. I think it's kind of cool, and like I mentioned, if I make this a little bit smaller, and even now I can fit it into this little notebook and carry only this with me, especially because it's summer and I liked to carry a little bit lighter for the summertime. And on the inside here, this can just stay at my desk where I schedule. This is a capture method for me, where I just kind of put everything here and then I kind of take from here and move it either here as well as here. It also allows me just to focus on this new start date and this new deadline without having to get confused by looking at the weeklies in the full month calendar. But anytime I need to see my entire month all at once, I still have this guy here. And again, you don't have to have exactly what I have. I don't have exactly what she's using. You just take what you like, leave what you don't, and use whatever system you're already in. And I really appreciate the fact that she says she doesn't always open this every day to use it. It's just those days when she feels like she needs to write things down. She has it. If she doesn't need it, she doesn't have to. So that's also really nice. And if you're wondering why I didn't start this at the beginning of July, it's because I didn't get these little inserts until July 2nd or 3rd. So I was like, well, maybe I'll keep them until August and I'll start doing daily planning then. But I found that I really needed to start daily planning right away. So I didn't have them at the beginning, and I had already set up my weekly in here for weekly planning. So from now on, for the rest of July, I'm going to go ahead and do time blocking in here, and it's going to be what I hope will happen on these days, and then this and my monthly will reflect what actually does happen on those days, if that makes sense. All right, so let me know, what do you think about 10-day planning? Since this is only my first time giving it a go, and I haven't even done a whole 10-day units, but I'm gonna work on it and I will update you. So if you'd like to see me set this up for late month, which would be the 21st through the 31st, let me know and I can make a video on that. But for sure, at the end of July, beginning of August, I will come back and let you know how it all went, if I don't update you before that. Yeah, so also don't forget to let me know what you would do with this white space, and if it's okay to use this notebook like this. I think it's fine. You use things however you want. Just because Writer Carol says we have to use it this way doesn't mean we do. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.